welcome again to this channel, Good Morning DRC. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe, share the link, and please give us thumbs up so we can bring you good content next time around. We do spend a lot of time here talking and looking at issues that are taking place around Africa. And today I want to look at the Democratic Republic of Congo, something that is really coming to my mind a lot as I do research and read around what is happening around the world. You will probably know and understand that we're living in a time where a lot is being said about climate change. We are having basically the weather situations around the world are going off the charts. And we understand that look what's happened in Libya. Look what's happened in Morocco. Look what's happened in California. Now, when you look around the world, something is taking place that is really warning all of us to be aware of the fact that our planet is not what it used to be. And there is something on the horizon. Unless we pay attention to it, then we'll have nowhere to call home. Now, this is what the climate the climate change specialists are telling us. But I see all of this. What is it in telling us? What is all these messages, if you like, events and natural catastrophe? What is it telling us? It's telling us that something in nature isn't right and needs to be fixed really quickly. As I understand that there are plans and meetings that are being organized in Saudi Arabia in order to discuss the climate change, which is becoming more and more of a problem. Now, one of the things that they're actually talking about is basically to slow down the climate change, i.e. that they have to slow down the speed at which our world is warming up. In order to do that, one of the things is that we must switch from this current use of the energy fossil fuel that we have to a more renewable green energy. More renewable green energy. And when we talk about green energy, what we are saying here is that we must look towards Africa, not only Africa, but the DR Congo that has all the natural resources in order to help us to have electrical cars and batteries that we need for our phones, and just to help us to sustain and to maintain the world at a level which will allow us to maybe think of a future in 100 years. Otherwise, we are being told that we won't be there, we won't last that long. If all of this is true, that 60% of the cobalt, lithium, all these deposits, strategic deposit, are in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and it is, then I can see something that is coming down the line unless we talk, and then unless the DRC or the Democratic Republic of Congo plans and find ways and means to supply and to monitor what is coming, then I can but I can see that something bad may happen. When I say something bad, this is what I mean. If you think about it this way, the global population, the world at large, all these industrialized nations and countries that have used fossil fuel in order to become industrialized nations. Now, they have amassed wealth. They have used fossil fuel to make themselves rich. Now, at the time when Africans are now about to use the fossil fuel in order to become industrialized nations, they say, no, you cannot do that because we're destroying the planet. If you do that, the planet will vanish. Now, when the West used fossil fuel, now, when they were destroying the planet, apparently it didn't mean much to them. But only now that the Africans are about to do it, They said, no, it's going to destroy the world. Double standard, isn't it? Yes, that's fine, it's double standard. But yes, let's think about it. Even if that theory was correct, that the world is somewhat, dissipating right in front of us, that we're going to lose everything we have in 10, 15 years' time unless we slow down this climate change. Now, if we're going to get these natural resources, if we're going to go for the cobalt and lithium that we need so much for our green energy, the way I see it, because the West, because the gangsters, because the elites, because those who are powerful, because they have the money, because they have the armament, because they have guns, because they can finance things. Now, the question I'm only asking myself is, how will they go about obtaining that which they're looking for? They're looking for natural resources. Now, we know in time past how they went about to get what they needed to industrialize their countries. They came and they colonized and they controlled these African nations in order to have access to what they needed. And they did do that. And they became prosperous and they became rich and they industrialized their countries and continent. Now, this time around, because they want green energy, clean energy, they know what they need is in Africa. What will happen? How will they go about obtaining what they need? My question is, will they use the same means as they did before? Or will they now come and say to themselves, look, we want to do business with Africa. Let's do a fair deal so that it is a win-win situation. Or will they revert to the old mechanism or ways of doing things? That is, let's arm small groups, militia groups, and then start butchering and then killing people, warlords, using warlords in order to kill the people and to destroy the land so that they can actually have access to what it is they're looking for. I don't know. I wonder, because right now you can see all these countries that are coming together, because now we have China in the Democratic Republic of Congo. One thing must be said. China is doing business here. So is Russia. And now we understand there is no more Cold War, but based on what is currently happening between the nations, you can already understand that the West does not like the presence of China and Russia in Africa, in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So they will want to counteract and do whatever it is that they can do in order to stop it. It's not going to be doable because China is a superpower now as we speak. And I don't see them slowing down because the West doesn't like it. Now, what is going to happen here is somewhat, the unthinkable might happen. But as I'm looking into this, I'm asking myself this question and I'm saying, if the cards are not played properly, what is more than likely to happen is that they will use their proxy people that will do the dirty deals for them. They will use warlords, local, if you like, countries surrounding the DRC, and they will want to cause trouble and problems in order for them to have access. So, to put it bluntly, unless we do something, unless we strategize, unless we have a strong army, unless we stand up for ourselves, unless we're really shrewd and savvy, then something awful might happen. What is likely to happen is that they have the neighboring Rwanda, they have the neighboring Uganda, they have the neighboring countries that they always like to arm and to equip them so they can attack the DRC. And when they do attack the DRC, so who profits from all of that? These are the countries. These are the tech companies that want to have access and lay their hands on these minerals. But what I'm saying here, wherever you are, Africans, you must wake up. We shouldn't kill each other. We shouldn't fight against each other. We shouldn't allow our enemies, put it this way, I'm not saying that we have enemies, but what I'm saying is people might become our enemies because of what we have, because of what we possess. And therefore, we must learn We must learn to work together, to unify and stay strong and defend what is ours. This is our duty. This is our responsibility. Africans, wherever we are, our leaders, wherever you are listening to this, we know that they are coming for what we have. Now that the world is switching toward green energy and renewable energy, and yet we have the resources that they are looking for, they will do whatever they can. If they cannot get it the way they want, if they cannot come and do business directly, if they don't want to pay the price that we're asking them to pay, they will use other means to lay their hands on that. And that we have to be aware of and do whatever we can so we can obviously stop that from happening. Now, I don't know how exactly that will happen, but I'm here to sound an alarm because I can see what will happen. Now, prudent people can see and prepare. So I'm just basically calling on all of us, wherever we may be, Africans. This is our time. We need to stand up. We need to unify. We need to fight for common cause and purpose to bring peace in our continent and to work together so that we also as a continent can rise and become industrialized, and not only letting other people to come and take what we have. And that ain't right. That was just some of the thought that I wanted to share with you. There will be some more things that I will have to say on that, but for today, I just want to ask you, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe and share this with others. And give us your comment, and we'll bring you some more. Thank you, and goodbye for now.